Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy IX. I need to do a frame by frame of that bear. That bear is killing me. I'm Circle Master. I'm being killed by a bear. Except not really. If that were to happen, I would be unhappy. But we are grinding in Final Fantasy IX. We are grinding in Skyrim. We are having our controller cord pull unnaturally hard out of its little thing. And we're getting back attacked. Everything's going wrong. It's amazing. Amazing. What is amazing is that today I published a Patreon exclusive video on my Patreon. So if you want to see a video that's only for Patreon patrons, you should become a Patreon patron. Link is in the description. That was my shilling. I downloaded like 8 different songs to put in the Patreon exclusive video. I ended up using like 3 or 4 of them. So I don't know why I downloaded so many. But hey, that's what audio libraries are for. Putting music in videos and getting copyright claims anyway. Although this one didn't get any claims, although because it's Patreon exclusive, it's not running any ads. Maybe that's the difference. In the vast recesses of my brain where things still work, they're very far away from the surface, I had the idea. Somebody suggested that I do react videos in a quadrant of this stream. You know, have that in the lower left third. Move the fights up with the alert box. I don't know if it would work or not. I don't know if I would get super dinged for copyright content kind of a deal. But it occurred to me that there is a somewhat well-known YouTube video game analysis guy named Joseph Anderson, who is working on long-form analysis videos of the Witcher series, and he has published videos for Witcher 1 and 2. And I could do reactions to that, because I haven't watched them, because they're like 4 hours long each. So I haven't watched them before, but I did play the Witcher series blind to varying degrees of misery. So maybe that's something I could react to, having taken my experience of trying to play it while doing content for it and really coming to an unfair opinion of the Witcher series that at least Witcher 3 doesn't deserve. I'd like to think that I was fair with Witcher 1 in its, boy, this like, rough. Witcher 1 was so rough. And then Witcher 2... Witcher 2 was also rough, but it had enough good parts that I could see why it was popular. And unfortunately, I had a completely unfair opinion of Witcher 3. So I did not care for Witcher 3 nearly as much as literally everybody else in the world, due to the circumstances I put myself in trying to play the game. And even understanding that, and even being as far away from that project as I am, has been like at least a year. It's either a little over a year or a little over 2 years since I did that. But I still can't bring myself to play Witcher 3 anymore. Hey Bambay, the stream is young. I've only been at it for a little while tonight. But we did hit 96 in Sneak. We're gonna hit 100 again in not too long of a time. So, Bambay, I don't know if you were present for any discussion of it. What do you think I should do? Because I've got like 2 corners of the screen full, and I could put something in a third corner of the screen. As long as it doesn't require any real inputs. Somebody suggested I react to videos. I do like, reaction video type stuff. I don't know the legalities of that. I don't know what the copyright situation with that is. But do you have any suggestions? Bambay apparently does not have any suggestions. Oh well. So, the idea that I was discussing was potentially reacting to long-form analysis videos of the Witcher series, because in a horribly misguided effort to do some ambitious Let's Play content, I did a blind Let's Play of the entire Witcher series. Basically back to back. Which was literally the worst way to play the Witcher series. And at the end of it, I hated the Witcher series. Unfairly in the case of 3. But I burned out on it so hard I can't even bring myself to play Witcher 3 since. Well, 3 screens could be a lot to look at, but at the same time, the Skyrim screen is not exactly the most exciting thing. And there is a lot of black space on the screen, which is because my overlay is set to have transparency, and I guess the default color when there's nothing there is black in OBS. So I don't know. It's an idea. Unfortunately, I don't have that much to talk about tonight. I did spend an inordinate amount of time at work watching videos on YouTube about 3D printers and being like, man, maybe I should get a 3D printer. But then I remember that I have no money and no place to put it. And I have to admit to myself that the no place to put it is the deal breaker part, because I make poor financial decisions. Such as investing in a whole bunch of streamer equipment to grind levels in PlayStation games. Well, that's level 37. Off of the back of Sneak 97. Let's get some more health. I have given no planning to how I'm spending the level ups. I'm just doing it. I'm not sure it matters. Because, like, would this be a save file that I play Skyrim from? How much of the game. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how the leveling scaling works in Skyrim. So I'm not sure how screwed I would be by being level 99 trained in nothing but sneak. Probably pretty screwed, is my guess. But, like, if I'm not that screwed, it could make for an effective master save. So that I have a whole bunch of extra perk points and a maxed out sneak if I. Because, like, there's nothing stopping you from staying in the cave until I'm level 99 with sneak 100. It would just be probably 4 extra hours. So, really, the question would be, do I even use the file to play Skyrim ever? I don't know the answer to that. Back attack. Nobody likes those. I did get another invite to do a sponsored stream for Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know, like, the last offer they sent me hasn't technically expired. And they're already running another one. Makes no sense to me. I will do my best tomorrow to have at least a classical music playlist ready. I always feel like I'm taking on too much stuff. Having said that, I do need to focus on the stuff that actually needs doing. I don't know what happened. My head just all of a sudden got super foggy. Like within the last 60 seconds. And I'm only like half an hour into this. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I just need more sleep. I just noticed a braided USB A to C cable that's like still tied up with the little plastic twist tie on my desk, and trying to figure out what that came with, how I got that. I have no idea. Hey, Bloodborne Souls. How's it going? Do you know where I got this braided USB A to C cable that's on my desk? That I just noticed has been sitting there for who knows how long? Why do I sound like I have something in my mouth? I don't know. I don't. I'm like within the past couple minutes suddenly really, really out of it. But I don't know that that would affect. Well, I guess it would affect my speech. But no, there's nothing in my mouth. I was done before because I didn't change the stream info from Vampire Survivors to Skyrim. And then when I frantically did it, there were several typos. So I fixed the typos. I also just noticed that apparently Twitch classifies Final Fantasy IX as both an open world game and a strategy game. I don't think either one of those things is true. But that's just me. I could easily be wrong and have been in the past. I will be again. It's there. This is a quiet part of a song. But yeah, I need to get at least a classical playlist put together tomorrow before tomorrow night's stream. I've been busy the last couple days working on a Patreon exclusive video, and I published that to Patreon this afternoon. So if you want to check that out, there's a link to the Patreon. You can become a patron and watch the video. And the first question I got about it in my Discord, I will answer that technically it does have feet in it. So if that is at all enticing, then there you go. Which artist? Well, I do like Mozart. I'm not gonna lie. Mozart's got some classics. Beethoven's got some classics. I think I had on the previous playlist, I had Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody. I'm desperately trying to remember. I ended up getting rid of the old playlist because they kept getting copyright claimed. I was unhappy. But it was something by Liszt. But you know, it's kind of just what's available in the audio library that I have. Yes, Rick just donated $69.69. Which, hey, if everybody did that, I'd be super happy. But I'm super happy about all the support I get. Helps keep me going to know that other people are actually watching me do this. I definitely always have the hardest time on stream with no audience. That's always the roughest. I'm sure that's true of any content creator. Oh yeah, we got a long ways to go. You know what I should do? I should do like a Friday night overnight stream where I don't know, we do something. My brain immediately lost the train of thought that it was on. Okay, I just had a brilliant idea. I just had a brilliant idea for what I could do for the third quadrant. Where I could, okay, here's what happens. Well, it's not that if I take song requests it gets copyrighted. It's that I have a paid license to the Storyblocks audio library, and it has a bunch of songs in it, but most of them are like made for Storyblocks or are part of other sound libraries or are public domain. So like if you request a specific song and it's not in there, then I don't have a license to play it. So I can't really do specific song requests. Like you can request a song and I can check if it's there. All right, so brilliant. Before I forget my brilliant idea, though, let me get out my brilliant idea. Okay, so top left corner Skyrim, bottom right Final Fantasy IX, bottom left I play Let's Play videos from my back catalog of YouTube. So I've already made the videos, so I know I can get away with it. And I get to show content that is on my YouTube channel that's not just grinding levels. And because the Let's Play is already doing like commentary and stuff, I don't have to talk and come up with stuff to say live in the moment because my brain is dumb. So if I'm ever super lazy, or if you ever see me do that, it means I'm super lazy or super out of it and I can't talk at all. So I'm having past me provide commentary on my behalf. That's my terrible, brilliant idea. That's my galaxy brain. That's my galaxy brain take on what I can show for a third thing on stream. Hey Malik, how's it going? I'm just now realizing that play another game. Well, that's the problem. If I don't have Skyrim in focus, if I alt-tab out of Skyrim, it like pauses or something. It doesn't work. Worst martial arts film after the 80s. Do I need to have seen it? Like, does it need to be a movie that I've personally sat through from start to finish? Because I have two different answers. One of which I only know by reputation, and one of which I have unfortunately sat through. Okay, the entire Three Ninjas franchise, but especially the sequels. Hey, we got Sneak 100. Thank Sithis? I'm trying to think of a Skyrim Daedra bad person. Thank Mehrunes Dagon. I don't think Mehrunes Dagon actually does sneaky stuff though. Yeah, Legendary 4. We're doing it. Okay, but like Three Ninjas Kickback. So like the Three Ninjas franchise is already terrible. Let's take Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the watered down quote unquote family friendly version where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles literally never use their iconic weapons. And make it even more dumbed down and even more for kids by casting kids as the heroes. But then not only do that, but make cheaper, dumber, cash-in sequels. So Three Ninjas Kickback, and then any sequels to Three Ninjas Kickback. Because the original was Three Ninjas. The original. In quotes. Three Ninjas. And so Three Ninjas Kick... There probably was. Who can say? I'm trying to remember the title of it. There was it's not a Three Ninjas. The one that I've personally sat through. Hold on, I need to take my coat off because the fact that I'm sitting next to an 850 watt space heater called my computer is starting to take its toll on me. Give me one moment. All right, I'm back. Okay, so this came out, I think, in the 2000s. So like even more past the 80s. I want to say it was called either the 10th Kingdom or the 12th Kingdom. It was something like that. But it was an action movie starring Jackie Chan and Jet Li, but not really. And also, but not really. So, it was actually starring some schmuck teenager who had no career before or after, who gets isekai'd into wuxia medieval, maybe it was the Hidden Kingdom. Maybe it was that. But he gets isekai'd into some wuxia fantasy world where he meets Jackie Chan and then also meets Jet Li and finds a staff and is like, in what they advertised as this movie that was like starring Jackie Chan and Bruce and Jet Li, this whole thing, and then the entire movie is like this kid walking around being followed by Jackie Chan and Jet Li, who are the Forbidden Kingdom. Okay, so you looked it up. Who are sort of kind of trying to do comedy and nobody's doing action. And yeah, it's like they kind of sort of based it on Sun Wukong or Sun Wukong, however it's pronounced, the Monkey King, and kind of sort of base it on Drunken Master somebody, but it's not those. It's a dumb. It's a dumbed down 25 words or less version of those characters. And Jackie Chan is way too old and doesn't care. And Jet Li is still, he's past his prime, but he can still do stuff, but he also doesn't care. And this is clearly being made by, this is clearly being made, quote unquote, for a Western audience. And it's like, it's somebody's idea of what the West likes in martial arts movies. So it's like for 5-year-olds. But it wasn't marketed for 5-year-olds, and there's like a little too much violence for it to be for 5-year-olds. But it's just awful. And then, at the end, the bad guy's beaten and he isekai's back. And there's kind of a reveal that Jackie Chan is also there in the present, so it's not really a different world, but time travel? But maybe not? Maybe he just isekai'd back with the kid? It's super unclear, and it's super bad. And, like, there's like a soupçon of frame story around the isekai plot, which is directly ripped off from the Karate Kid, because that was a martial arts movie that did well in the West. And weirdly, the kid learns basically nothing. Like, he comes back after this grand adventure, and he's still a schmuck. He's just a schmuck who knows how to fight with a staff now. So he comes back, he does some schmucky stuff, but the credits roll over him like practicing with his bow staff on a rooftop. And that's supposed to be like empowering or character progression or something. It was so bad. But at least it wasn't 3 10-year-olds in 3 ninjas. Or their even worse sequels. Oh no, what happened? What happened? Something... What happened in Skyrim? My goodness. Are we still good? I started going up that rock, I think. That rock... That's why I've been so scared of the rock this whole time. There you go. That's why. I will just... My character will go from not moving, or moving so imperceptibly slowly that it looks like I'm not moving, and then bam, I'm launching myself off this rock toward the bear. So yeah, Forbidden Kingdom. Worst martial arts movie that I personally have sat through. And I really shouldn't have. I really should have not watched the whole thing. But speaking of terrible things, maybe we should do tonight's table topic. What do you say, Malik? What do you say, Bloodborne Souls, if you're still there? Let's do a table topic. Last stream's table topic was controversial. Which spaceship is the best in battle? I made the argument that it's the Death Star. The Death Star is a spaceship, and it's also the best in battle because it blows up stuff real good. And as long as you don't have plot powers, you can't blow it up in return. So there. Anyway. Ready or not, here comes tonight's table topic. What are the qualities of your perfect dragon companion? I'm not sure what this is asking. Like... Is a dragon companion like a dragon who is your companion? Or is it like a dragon-blooded companion? Or like, you know, like a dragonkin, or I'm trying to remember what they're called in D&D. Dragonborn. Is this a person who's dragon-esque? Or is this a literal dragon who like, but it's like, I don't know if it's, but it's like it's not a persona type of thing, because like it's not if you were a dragon, but it's unclear whether it's like who would be your dragon best friend, or if you could have a pet dragon, what would they be like, or do you want to get with a dragonkin girl, or like, what's the anime with the dragon maids? Is it just called Dragon Maid? I don't know. There's some anime with dragon maids. I don't know anything about it because I've only seen memes of it. Yeah, or is it a make your own Pete's Dragon situation? I don't know. So, like, I guess we'll go with, but it's super weird, cuz like if it was like what dragon would you want to be your companion or your best friend or whatever, then we're talking about, you know, dragons in fiction. But this is like Build-A-Bear, except for dragons. Like, I want my dragon to be a gold dragon, and it would have all the money, and it would loan me money whenever I asked, and also cook for me and have huge titties. I don't know. Like, what? Like, what is this asking? I would rather talk, like, this... Like, what... Talking about fictional dragons is more apropos to the whole geek pop thing, and seems like more of a discussion thing, rather than just fantasize about a dragon that loves you. It's like, man, that's just depressing. I have to make up people to love me. How topical to, yeah. So yeah, this is either really badly worded or just depressing. So let's take it the other direction. Let's say, what dragon in fiction would you most like to be your companion? So you can think about, you know, like Smaug the dragon. You can think about Pete's dragon. You can think about D&D dragons like Bahamut and Tiamat. You can think about Final Fantasy dragons like Bahamut and Tiamat. You can think about other, you know, there's the whole Dragonland series of books that I'm sure has named dragons in it, because like everybody had a dragon. I'm pretty sure. Like, wasn't that about like dragon cavalry riders basically? So if I'm... Oh, Flight of the Dragons. That was a good movie. I liked that movie. I haven't seen it in forever. I remember watching it as a kid on the Disney Channel. Which I don't think it was a Disney movie. I think it was like a Ralph Bakshi movie. It was that same kind of animation style, if I remember right. That, you know, 70s animated film. I don't remember... Rankin Bass. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But, like, there was the main character guy who gets isekai'd into a dragon. There were, I think, 2 dragons that, like, palled around with him and taught him how being a dragon worked and all that good stuff. And there was the one dragon that they talked about who was, like, evil. And they recounted the story of the knight who defeated him. Using science. Except he didn't know it was science. It was primitive science. And then the finale is great, I think. The finale is like, wait a minute, none of this makes sense. Let me explain how none of this makes sense. And then the bad guy's plan doesn't work because it's been pointed out how nonsensical it is. And he's like, wait a minute, none of this makes sense. And he gets back and he's like, wakes up. And it was like, oh, it was all a dream, except you're now meeting the woman that you fell in love with who was from the fantasy world. She came back with you through the power of love. So yeah. Flight of the Dragons, good movie. I don't know what the YouTube link you linked is, Bloodborne Souls. If I click it, I will lose Skyrim focus, and then Skyrim will pause. Also, the audio will be broadcast over OBS, and that's bad. So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what you linked. Presumably a dragon. So, if I'm gonna pal around with a dragon from fiction, here's my deep cut. I want to pal around with Dunkelzahn, who is a great dragon from Shadowrun. And I'm talking like 2nd edition Shadowrun. Old days of Shadowrun. He's, like, arguably the most powerful of the great dragons. He's the most empathetic to humanity of the great dragons. So he has, like, the populist vibe going. He gets elected president. He's like the first dragon to be given U.S. citizenship. And he uses that to run for president. And he wins. And then in 3rd edition, they kill him off. But then they write this lore book, this, you know, flavor, not flavor, but like, like a source book for the role-playing game, but it's just, it's not like an adventure module, it's just, like fluff. That's about his will. And it lists out his entire will. And he's like, humans have taken to writing wills as a way to settle accounts and pass on their belongings, but also to kind of fuck with people after they're dead. So I've written a will to do that. So it's got all these bits of lore of, I'm doing this to settle accounts, and I'm doing this to openly mess with people. And, like, one of the things he does is he bequeaths an island that doesn't exist yet to somebody. It's like, to so-and-so, I give the island that will be formed by an eruption in the year 2062 in the land that I once owned. And I'm talking about Shadowrun. It's a role-playing game. Oh my god, I have to explain Shadowrun. Okay, Shadowrun is a role-playing game. Like D&D. Except it's not D&D. It was originally written by FASA. It was originally published by FASA Studios before Microsoft bought them. Except also Wizards of the Coast bought them. What happened to FASA Studios is weird and dumb. Anyway, imagine Blade Runner meets Lord of the Rings. It is a cyberpunk dystopia with mega corporations and virtual reality internet and, like, piloting vehicles with your mind. But also there's magic and elves and dwarves and dragons and sorcerers. And spirits. And these exist simultaneously in this world. TSR at least exists again in some form or another. FASA Studios is both long gone and a nightmare of legalities of who owns what. Yeah, it's What If William Gibson but J.R.R. Tolkien. The problem with it... Well, there are numerous problems with it. The main problem with it is that all modern editions of Shadowrun, like from Shadowrun 4th edition onward, is terrible. They're not fun. They're bad games. You shouldn't play them. That's the first wrong thing with Shadowrun. The second wrong thing with Shadowrun is if you've played Cyberpunk 2077, or better yet, if you played the Cyberpunk RPG that TSR published back in the 80s, early 90s, and then you read Shadowrun material, boy howdy, Shadowrun ripped off Cyberpunk so hard, it's not even funny. Not even a little. Hey, we got to level 38. Let's get some more health. Let's not get some more armor. But it's like Cyberpunk has Trauma Team, a private company contracted to provide medical services, especially in high-risk areas, to select clientele. Shadowrun has Dockwagon, a private company contracted to provide medical services, especially in high-risk situations, to select clientele. Cyberpunk has brain dances. Virtual reality, emotive VR in chip form, to which people can get addicted. Shadowrun has Better Than Life, a virtual reality emotive chip to which people can get addicted. Cyberpunk has smart guns, cyberware that links with your firearm to provide heads-up display and other tactical information to make you better at shooting weapons. Shadowrun has Smart Link, a cyberware that interfaces with your guns to provide a heads-up display and tactical information on your weapon. Please elaborate, Malik, on how Shadowrun misses the point. The one thing that Shadowrun did right is in Shadowrun 3rd Edition they had, boy, I do not have many potions. I am out of potions. This is terrible. I also probably haven't been hitting the button for a while. The one thing Shadowrun did right is in 3rd Edition they had a book of short, like, mini adventures that was designed to be for new players. And it was called First Run. And the first thing in First Run is a mini adventure called Food Fight. It's basically a combat tutorial. It's a robbery and shootout in a convenience store that is played for comedy and has an extensive table of random results to have, like, anytime you miss an attack, the attack hits some convenience store snack or product on the shelves. So there was this big random table of the fallout of missed attacks, like, and it could be like blue spongy liquid coats the aisle that you're in, or all kinds of just nonsense stuff can happen as the various and sundry artificial products are splattered across the store in the course of a combat tutorial. It's great. I love it. I love Food Fight. That's my favorite part of Shadowrun. Anyway, I was about to say, how did we get on this topic? And then I remembered how we got on this topic. And I don't want to talk about how we got on this topic. I just want to. I'm ready to move on. That was tonight's table topic. It was weird and off putting and creepy. And kind of vaguely fetishistic. But at least our sneak is 43 now. Oh, I always forget how hot it gets in my room with the PC running like this. Since playing Skyrim is an extra tax on my system resources. Excuse me. Such a squeaky chair. I just had the literal worst idea. Literal worst idea for third thing on stream. Skyrim in the top left. Final Fantasy in the bottom right. In the bottom left, Raid Shadow Legends. And I take the sponsor offer and pass that off as the Raid Shadow Legends stream for the week. And I shill for Raid Shadow Legends for a week. That's the worst idea. I could even set it up though, because I have a Samsung phone. I could use Samsung Dex so that it's on my PC, but it's controlled through my phone, which hopefully means I could have that in the background and Skyrim in the foreground, so that Skyrim still levels, but I don't have to touch it. And then I just do Raid Shadow Legends on my phone. And I'm doing... This is the worst idea. Oh my goodness, it's LK Jeremy. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. I don't. What were you doing on a Tuesday? I thought trivia was on Thursdays. Talk O Tuesday. Man, I wish I had people to chat with. I've had to talk nonsense, except when Malik was here and we were talking about Shadowrun, and it was kind of weird. So, Jeremy, let me run an idea past you here. So, I got my 2 games grinding levels at the same time here, but I've got a lot of dead space. So what I'm thinking is, I leave Skyrim in the top left corner. I leave Final Fantasy in the bottom right corner. I don't know what Stream Raiders is, so I move the fight counter to the top right with the stream alerts. you know, the follows and whatnot. And then in the bottom left, I take one of the crappy sponsorship offers from Raid Shadow Legends, and I have Raid Shadow Legends in the bottom left for a week. How many viewers do you think I would lose if I did that? Oh, I get it. I would probably lose none because I don't have any to begin with. Is that what you're saying? No, seriously though, I don't know what Stream Raiders is. Like, a lot of people might do it, but I've literally never heard of it. Oh, yeah, nobody seeks out Raid Shadow Legends. Well, the way it's set up, you just have to stream the game for 4 hours and get people to sign up with your referral code and play the tutorial. It's the second part that's the hard part. I forget how it's broken down, but if I remember right, it's like every 5 people you get gets you money. Until you get 25 people. At 25 people, you cap out your money. If I remember right. I haven't looked at it in a while. No, Bloodborne Souls, that was the idea for if I'm completely checked out and I don't want to talk on stream or do anything. Then I just have my past self do commentary over other videos that I've made. That's my boy, I can't do anything on stream right now, but I need to stream option. That's like the nuclear option. Oh, this song is called Don't Piss Me Off. I'm not even kidding. If I had remembered how few potions I had, I would have bought some at the end of last stream. As it sits, this stream might actually end because I run out of hit points rather than anything else. Hit the button. Thank you. Here's an idea. I hit up Elgato on Twitter or something and be like, hey Elgato, I'm grinding to level 99 in the starting area, as I do. How about you send me the foot pedal thing so that I can just foot pedal for the fight counts, and I can do like a thing and be like, sponsored by Elgato, hashtag thank you for free stuff, and then maybe they'll send me free stuff. What do you think are the chances of that? Probably not good. Oh, worst case scenario, they block me. And then I get reported on Twitter and banned or something. I'm trying to remember, does Corsair own Elgato? I think they do. Yeah. Because I do have some Corsair peripherals as well. So maybe I can be like, hey Corsair, I'm already a fan of your company, and also I did the thing in Final Fantasy VII. Look how famous I am. Please send me more streaming gear, and I will talk about it and do the things for the engagement. Maybe they will. Who knows? But like I got my stream deck. That's what I'm using for fight counters right now. Every time I have a fight, I hit the button on the stream deck and it counts down. Well, I know face cam because 1, nobody wants to see my face. 2, don't really have a good webcam for it. 3, don't really have a good environment for it. You would not believe how dark I keep my room for the sake of my migraines. If I had a camera with a ring light or whatever diffused lights I would need to be visible on camera, I would literally have to sit and wear sunglasses on stream because my eyes would not be able to handle it. And 4, I don't remember what I was talking about when I was I counting stuff down? I forget. You asked why I had no face cam, and my brain jettisoned the previous conversation that I was having with myself. Hey, Koopa Man. Well, the problem with the achievement in Final Fantasy VII is that, like, it's really interesting after the fact. After it's done, it's easy to read an article about having done it, or watch a retrospective of it, like Cybershell did. It's really hard to sit here and watch it happen in real time. like Cybershell's video has more views than my video of actually doing it. Granted, that was like almost an hour long, and it's a stream VOD rather than a produced piece of content. But most people would rather engage with stuff that's about it than sit and witness the whole thing of it. It's kind of like how many people watch a particular live stream of a particular category of speedrun versus how many people watch a summoning salt video on the history of the same speedrun. I did the same thing in Final Fantasy VIII. I did the same thing in Final Fantasy Tactics. That's why I'm doing 9. Because if I do 9, I'll have done all of the PlayStation original Final Fantasies, grinding to level 99 in the starting area. Like, it's like the Vampire Survivors thing. I did it on stream, and I wanted to take the recording and make it into, like, a produced video. Like, any of the other Can You Beat X in Y? You know, like, what's the name of it? Muffin Squad? I think is the, like, main channel of that people watch. But unfortunately, the external recording, well, not external, but the non-stream recording super didn't work. So I couldn't make a produced video about it. So I just had to put up the stream VOD. And that got a good number of views. But it's not going to have the legs that it would have if it was produced content. So I've been kind of like trying to figure out what produced content I could do. And I don't know. I could go back to the Skyrim video, but I really hate the script for it now. But I don't know how to make it better. Maybe I just hate the way I sound. Maybe I need to just record it and be done. And just put it out there for what it is. Except I've kind of sat on it for so long that I probably ought to rewrite the section where I make the pandemic joke, because people are kind of over the pandemic, myself included. Oh, Koopa Man, I am absolutely walking into a wall. That's how I get sneak. You don't improve sneak unless you're moving. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the auto run key to turn it off. But yeah, I'm in Helgen Cave. There's the bear. So I'm sneaking against this wall to grind sneak XP, making it legendary when it hits 100. And in a couple months, I'll be level 99 in Skyrim. No, I don't have a rubber band on the controller. Skyrim is on keyboard and mouse, and there's just a key you can press to auto-run. So rather than holding down W to go forward, you hit this key and you'll go forward until you hit the key again. By default, I think, it's the C key. It's at least the C key on my setup. Hey, Draculosity. Dick Tree's not here. He never was. And I don't think he streams. I'm not sure he ever did. Yeah, most of the Skyrim exploits are alchemy loops. Fortify Restoration, I think, is the alchemy loop. To do basically anything. Because most enchanting effects, for whatever reason, are restoration. Or something. I forget. I forget how it works. I honestly never bothered with it. Yeah, Cybershill's video is very popular, and I appreciate him making the video on me. But yeah, like Skyrim you can break without bothering to do the alchemy exploits. Yamfa does a lot of, or did a lot of Skyrim videos with a bunch of weird stuff, and none of it was alchemy exploits. Or at least alchemy exploits were never necessary. Dissidia Duodecim Level 1 Feral Chaos No 99 greater than 1? I have no idea what any of that means. I don't know what Dissidia is. Is that like one of the mobile games? Oh, I never had a PSP. It's either a PSP game or a fighting game or a PS2 game. No, the only Final Fantasy fighting game I'm aware of is the PS1. What is it called? Urguys or something like that. I don't know what Crisis Core is. Draculosity, you gotta remember, I'm old. I played Final Fantasy for the NES. Then I played Final Fantasy 2/4 for the Super Nintendo. Then I played Final Fantasy 3/6 for the Super Nintendo. And I was like, Final Fantasy 2 is really good, but Final Fantasy 3, oh my god, that's so good. That's my favorite game, and it's still my favorite Final Fantasy game. I played the shit out of Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo. And then I tried to play Final Fantasy 7 and I couldn't get through disc 1 before I lost interest. And then I never tried, or I tried 8. And there was a weird problem with my PlayStation where it took over a minute to load a random battle. It was unplayable. So I never played 8. And then I literally never played 9. And then Final Fantasy X came out for PS2, and I was like, I'll try Final Fantasy X. Because I kind of bounced off all the PlayStation ones. And I really tried to play it. And I did not like it. And so, like, I was like struggling to force myself to play it, and I did the first Sin fight, and I unlocked Blitzball, and like maybe Blitzball will be fun. Everybody was like Triple Triad and 8 is fun. Maybe this mini game will be fun, cause like it's a sport, it's all tournament thing. Maybe I can really invest in Blitzball, and that'll keep me in. And Blitzball sucked. And I noped the fuck out. And that's basically my total experience with Final Fantasy. Okay, so the other thing is I don't really play fighting games. I used to play fighting games very super casually. Like, I was a super casual scrub at Street Fighter 2. I was a super casual scrub at, like, Mortal Kombat 2 and 3. And for PS2, I played some Virtua Fighter. I played Tekken in the arcade a couple times. And then Soul Calibur 2 came out. I'm like, hey, maybe I'll get into Soul Calibur 2. So I got it for PS2, and I played it some. And then I had a bad experience with Soul Calibur 2. And it kind of turned me off fighting games completely. And I haven't really played a fighting game since. Oh, Jeremy went AFK. I was gonna ask. Jeremy, I don't know if you're listening, but what's the thing for trivia on Thursday? What's the category? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Bloodborne Souls? Now I'll leave them misaligned. Out of spite. Spite, the most powerful of motivators. That will fuel me to finish the Final Fantasy IX grind. Also, if I alt-tab out of Skyrim to rearrange the windows, Skyrim will pause itself. It will mess up Skyrim if I do. No, there are games that can hold my interest. Like, Vampire Survivors is one. I've been enjoying that. There's a game in, I think it's still technically in early access, called Dyson Sphere Program. That's like building factory planets, except it's, unlike Factorio, there's nothing trying to kill you, so it's like super casual and chill, which is what I like. Plus, you're driving a giant mecha robot around. I can't check my Steam list right now because I can't leave Skyrim. Elden Ring, obviously. I can't stream Elden Ring because of my internet. Like, I tried to stream Elden Ring one time. Mostly fought the Crucible Knight and like the VOD of that. Ooh, it's rough. That bit rate can't handle Elden Ring. I did eventually learn how to parry the Crucible Knight, though. That clip should still be up on my channel, in fact. So you can not only see me parrying Crucible Knight, but also see how terrible the bitrate was. I got Total War Warhammer 3, kind of hoping that it would be decent, but that's gonna need like a year of patches and updates before it's in a good state. So I may just go back to Total War Warhammer 2. I don't know, it's there haven't been like that many games released this year that have been like super exciting. Obviously, Cyberpunk 2077 came out to much attention. Although that was like a while ago now. I haven't replayed that since the last major update that reworked the side gigs and like added the apartments and stuff. So maybe I'll give that another shot at some point. I was hoping to hold out until the story DLC came out, but it turns out that that's not coming out this year. So yeah, Cyberpunk was a thing that I made the mistake of getting excited about. In my defense, I've got a really nice PC. So most of the issues that were on console and low-end PCs, I never saw. Most of the problems that I saw were of the hilarious variety rather than the game doesn't work variety. But, like, yeah, it's obviously unfinished. And it's so weird to think about. Because, like, it was allegedly. Like, it was announced in 2012. They did the teaser trailer in 2013. It had, on paper, almost 8 years of development. So you think, how can it be rushed? But the truth of the matter is, like, production didn't even really start until after the vertical slice that they reluctantly released to the public. After what, 2016? When did they show the vertical slice to the press? I don't remember. But it's like they didn't actually go into production on the game until after that. So yeah, on paper they had like 8 years, but in reality they had like 2. And it shouldn't be that hard. Like, it's frustrating. Well, that's the thing, Koopa Man, is that Cyberpunk, even on release, was like a decent open world action game. But I was promised an RPG. I was promised Cyberpunk. And yeah, the story is Cyberpunk, but it sure ain't an RPG. And maybe with the 1.5 patch, it's a good open world action game. It's maybe a good GTA clone. But they can't patch in an RPG. And it's really telling that the strongest RPG quest, like quest, in the game is the one that was shown off in the vertical slice. The one that got the most work is the one that has player choice and divergent paths I don't know if they're still doing an online component. Like, before it came out, the plan was that there would be a multiplayer component. Though, if I remember right, it was designed to be a standalone thing. Kind of like how there's Gwent the card game. That's a standalone game from the Witcher series. That is multiplayer focused. I don't know what in Cyberpunk would be that. Like, there is no equivalent of Gwent. But like there's there's the Maelstrom quest that was shown off in the vertical slice. That is like a quest. And I am like surprised and appreciative of the different options you have for an ending. The ending is not just push button to get a different colored cutscene, which is kind of what you would expect from the rest of the game being the way it is. So I was pleasantly surprised that the different endings, the different finales, are as different as they are. And I am out of hit points and out of potions. So let's talk to this dude. Now let's chug a lug. So yeah. Cyberpunk's not an RPG. It could have been, but it's not. And you know what? We'll make that the secret word of the day. If you're watching this on YouTube, post Cyberpunk in the comments so I know that you got to the end of the video. Oh my goodness. We're at almost the next clock cycle. We're almost going to roll over to 100 hours. That's something to look forward to later. And I will remember to drop the quick save. I'm going to turn off the auto run and then drop another quick save. Drop another quick save. Thank you. So yeah, post Cyberpunk in the comments so I know you got to the end of the video. Nobody will, because nobody will get to the end of the video. But that will do it for tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank LK Jeremy for the raid. Koopaman, Bloodborne Souls, Malik. I don't remember who else was here in chat. I'm sorry. My brain, Shino Worky. Draculosity. That's who. And Bambay was here. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care.